What's up everybody? Today we're going to be messing with the lifted Civic a little bit. First thing I need to do is get it cleaned up, get some of this mud off of it, because I want to paint this door right here. Get it white, match the rest of the car here. And then I got some stuff to make a little bit of like a rust solution. And right here where all the paint's gone, I think it could use a little rust right there. So we get this thing cleaned up, get it painted, make some rust in a couple little spots, and I want to throw a regular mirror on this side because this thing just flops all around. It's pretty much useless. And then the skid plate came loose right down here, so I want to get that fixed also. So we'll go ahead and head over to my buddy's shop. He's got a pressure washer he said I can borrow. We'll head over that way, get started on this thing. Alright, back down here in my shop. This thing is nowhere near clean, but it'll be good enough to paint this door. It's not covered in mud anymore. It's really all that matters. So we'll just go ahead and get it pulled in here and get to working on it. Go ahead and give this thing a light sanding, and then we'll just time lapse the paint job real quick. So I just started off with the flat black to give it something a little bit more even for the white to stick to. They didn't have a primer, so I figured this would work just as good. I'm sure if you're like an actual painter and you happen to be watching this, you're probably about ready to throw your phone down, so I'm sure I'm doing everything wrong. But just to game the car, I just want to make this door look kind of white, so that's really all that matters. But while we're waiting for this to dry before we put the white down, we'll go ahead and grind through this to get it to bare metal, and then we'll go and make some rust spray. Alright, so I was trying to smooth out the marks a little bit because you can see all the different angles, and I'm assuming all that's going to rust differently. Then I tried to kind of drag it down the door a little bit. There's a bunch of paint missing here. I just tried to stay with the same shape that it was coming off by itself. Just add a little bit more to it. I've never ground the paint off a car and purposely rusted it before, so I don't really know how this is going to work out. But we'll go ahead and go mix up some rust spray and see what happens. Alright, so I've got some hydrogen peroxide, some white vinegar, and some salt. I wasn't able to find a spray bottle, so I'm just gonna use a water bottle. It should be fine. Now, I don't know the best mixture for this. If you look online, everyone pretty much says something different. So I'm just gonna guess, and if it works out well, cool. If not, we'll try again. Do a lot of hydrogen peroxide. That seems to be the common thing. Everyone always uses a good bit of this. So I'll fill it up to about halfway up the label. And then fill that up right above the label. And just a pour of the salt. I guess we'll see what happens. That turns brown almost immediately. That works pretty good. So I'll just set up a time lapse and we'll get this thing knocked out real quick. So not exactly what I had in mind, but it's pretty close. So we'll just let this sit here and do its thing. And in the meantime, we'll go throw some white paint on the door over there. Well, it's coming along. Probably gonna take a couple more coats, but we'll let this dry for a little bit and then come back and hit it again. Let's see how the rust is doing over here. Gotten pretty dark. I'd say that's probably gonna do it. This has been sitting for about 5 minutes, so let's wipe it off and see how it looks. I just got some water on a rag. Alrighty, I guess I'll make another bottle of the rust spray up and we'll go ahead and coat it again. Got some more of this mixed up. Changes colors really fast, but it doesn't seem to stay on there when you wipe it off. So I think this time I'm gonna pour it on and then just let it sit for the rest of the day and see how that does. Alright, went ahead and got this mirror put on this side. Took this thing off. This thing is for a motorcycle, so it's pretty hard to see out of in the car, but got a regular mirror on it now. Match the other side. And went ahead and got some hardware. And we'll go ahead and get this skid plate fixed. So you see it mounts right here. And right there, but at the Alabama Gambler there was a like a flex ramp, and when I tried to go up it, this right here hit and bent the mount for the skid plate, which broke the bolt, and then over time this one rattled out also. So now the whole skid plate just moves around and makes all kinds of ruckus. So put a bolt in on this side, and then I'll probably have to hammer this side out straight to be able to get those holes aligned back up, and then we should be good to go. Alright, so that was a nice easy fix. Skid plate's mounted again. So go ahead and throw another coat of paint on this, and then I'll show y'all what that looks like. Then I'll probably back the car off the lift and get this mess cleaned up here. Finally got this door all painted. Ended up taking about 6 coats. Still not perfect. It's got some mess ups in a few places, but it'll do. That's not good. You can get this sticker at hrgengineering.com. I'll have to get me a new one. There it is. Now I just need some dirt on it and get a little dingy and old, and it'll kind of look like the rest of the car. Alrighty, I'll go and pull this thing out. We'll do a walk around and finish up this video. that cleaned up, it was just like turning into this weird foam. Who knows, maybe once this water dries it'll be nice and clean here. But here's the door out in the sunlight. Not too bad. It's very obvious it's a different color, but it'll be okay. And we got the rust side over here. So, not many changes. Just paint the door. Got that new mirror on. Got the skid plate secure again. And rusted out right here where the paint was missing. So not too much happening this week, but another month or so we got our next event. We'll get this thing back out in the woods. But thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for another one. This far in the video, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We'll see y'all next week for another one.